Hey, Richard Bryce here, Tennis Hacker. In this video, I want to explain just one thing that's very simple that you absolutely need to understand if you want to improve and become a better player and you want to win more matches. And that is, you need to stop trying to hit the ball so hard. Too many players are trying to crush the ball. They're trying to absolutely knock the socks off the ball. And that's the wrong way to think about things. When you watch high-level players play, they do hit the ball hard, but they do it because they've got great biomechanics and great timing, so they create a lot of racket head speed, and that's what gives them the power. They're not putting a lot of physical effort in, trying to hit it as hard as they can through muscular force. And the reason that they're not doing that is because they know that if they do that, they will miss too many shots. So high-level players, they are hitting it hard, but they're not hitting it anywhere near as hard as they could do because there's a speed accuracy trade-off. Anything that we as humans try and do forcefully and as quick as possible, we don't do with accuracy, finesse, and control. And tennis is really a sport that's all about control, accuracy, and consistency. So when you're practicing, when you're playing matches, you have to think about consistency and control first. But it really does start within your practices. I see so many players, they're just absolutely slapping the ball. And yeah, sure, they make some amazing shots, but then they miss way more shots than they're making. And they've just got this really poor quality practice, training bad habits. And then when they go into matches, they make way too many unforced errors, again, because they're just going for too much. Or you also get other players who they go for shots in practice, they crush shots and miss a lot of balls, but then when they get into a match situation, they completely change their style of play and now they're kind of floating the ball back. And it doesn't work that way either. You need to practice in the way that you're going to play the matches. So within your practice, be thinking 50, 60, 70% max of your capabilities. So you still want to hit through the ball, you still want racket head speed, but just 60, 70% of what you're capable of. Do that, train yourself to be consistent on the practice court, and then when you get into matches, still go for that 60, 70%. You never need to hit the ball that hard. Doesn't matter what level you play at, whether you're a 4.5, a 4.0, a 3.5, a 3.0, all you need to do is get the ball back in play 3, 4, 5 times in a row, and it is very highly likely that your opponent is going to miss. So you just need to develop the discipline to be able to do that. Now, obviously, if you're playing at the 4-5 level and you just give them a really, really weak ball that lands in the middle of the court, there are going to be some 4-5 players that are able to exploit that a little bit. So you're not going to be trying to hit a weak ball, you're going to try and hit the ball deep, but to a big target, so not going close to the lines. You don't need to do that, you just need to hit it deep consistently. And if your opponent has a weaker shot, maybe the forehand or the backhand breaks down more, you just hit it deep onto that side 3-4 times in a row, and they will break down because in their head, they're already panicking. They know that they break down on whatever stroke it is that they break down on. And as soon as you start hitting it to them, they will implode and they'll get in their own head. And you just have to keep on doing the same thing over and over again. And you do not need to hit the ball hard in order to make that happen. You just have to be consistent. So hopefully this makes sense. It really is that simple, but you just have to be disciplined. You have to be disciplined within your practice. You have to do this over and over again so you habituate being consistent, and then you'll take it onto the match court and you have to practice doing it in matches as well. Resist the temptation to hit the ball like Alcaraz at 100 miles an hour. Resist that at all costs. Just go for consistency, and it really will lay the foundation for higher level tennis. And ultimately, if you find that you're not able to develop a higher level technique, you're not able to hit with better timing and more power on a consistent basis, it tells you that there's something going on that's limiting you. And that's normally that you don't have good enough hand-to-eye coordination. So either you aren't very good visually at reading where the ball is so you can start your swing at the right time, or your coordination isn't good enough. So if you really kind of want to improve past a certain point, it's not about trying to hit the ball hard and hitting shots that you're not capable of hitting. You still have to focus on consistency, but it's a good idea to train your vision and train your coordination to improve your skill level. And by doing that, then you'll be able to use higher level techniques and you'll be able to hit with power on a more consistent basis, but through timing and biomechanics, not through trying to hit it as hard as you can. If you'd like to learn more about vision and coordination training, I've got a web class that's going to teach you more about it, so I'll place a link up there, and I'll place a link down in the description so you can check that out if you're interested. But if you're not, that is no problem. Take home message from this video is stop trying to hit the ball too hard. It will prevent you from improving. We do not learn and develop techniques when we're trying to do it as hard as we can, and obviously it leads to too many unforced errors. Okay, hopefully you have found this video helpful. If you do, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel before, it's much appreciated if you could do that as well. And if you have any comments, I would love you to leave your feedback down below. Okay, catch you next time.